what did you see as the keys, especially in the second half, of being able to build that lead into the third quarter where you got yourself a little bit of cushion there?
Yeah, it's just a possession game, really. I mean, you had to take control of the possession game. You're never going to win a game against a team like this if you don't at least hold serve in the possession game. And we rebounded better in the second half and didn't turn it over. I mean, the first half was ugly. Like the way that they out-rebounded us, and the turnovers we made were just because we were trying to play in a crowd and not making the right simple play that was in front of us. Once we got that corrected, I still think there's like a ton of room for improvement out there, but at least we were not shooting ourselves in the foot and giving them second chances. So
it seemed like Carl really gave you a lot, rebounding, scoring, everything.
Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, it was great. I mean, and he got rolling, and he was really the guy who put the distance in the game, and then Ant was able to close it. But yeah, he had another really, really good game for us.
There's that play. Carl hustled back to challenge. Is that kind of the winning plays you need?
For sure, lots of little things that you need to do to win a game like this. Cat's been really doing a lot of it all season long. A lot of little things like that. It's just staying into play. So all credit to him.
Anthony Edwards, after the game, just said that Elston Turner was really hot at halftime, and that the guys don't like to see that, really, and that's a great motivator for them. But to clean up the offensive rebounds and the turnovers, was that a more physical, being in the right place, right time, more effort thing, paying attention to details?
It was literally just got to hit first and just put more effort in it. They were just we were turning and we were looking and we were maybe putting our body on them, but it wasn't enough. When you have players engaged in defense like Jaden and Mike were chasing those guys all night long, chase them. We can't expect them to get back and really help and rebound. So it's got to be the other wing and the two bigs have just really got to control the paint, and we weren't carving out enough space when the shots were taken. So.
Chris, sorry. Coach, Steph's going to score his points. Was the key the fact that you were able to keep the other Warrior players in check?
We don't really have like a personnel key. We just, try to guard them all. It's really hard. We got a lot. Jaden, Mike, Nikhil, Kyle, those guys were outstanding in their chase defense tonight. And they, really, use their length and their intelligence to make it hard, and that's all we can try to do, So,
Chris, it seemed like Rudy kind of had to go through a war out there, and their plan was clearly to just be super physical with you guys.
Yeah.
What's the key to countering that, whether it was tonight or just kind of big picture when teams try and be really physical with you?
You talking about Rudy offensively? Or
it just seemed like they were just trying to beat you guys up on the interior.
Yeah, they kind of hold, they really get physical on his rolls. They're physical on his rebounds, and he's seen that his whole career. So he just has to play through it and not get flustered or not try to make a play in a crowded space when there's an easy play to be made. And he was really good tonight defensively. I thought he was outstanding.
And then with Carl, where are you seeing his defense be most impactful? It seems like that's been solid all year.
I think his awareness has gone up. I think just his shell defense and his rotations and his not willingness, but his recognition of being in actions is probably the biggest thing that we've seen. So.
Chris, late game offense these last couple of games here. What have you kind of thought of the mix of shots you've
it's great when Anthony's attacking, and that sets up his jumper, whether it be from three or pull up. We still have a habit sometimes of holding and bleeding the clock and then looking for the bomb three to try to win it all in one shot. But we have Mike out there was great. We got the ball back into his hands. We ran a couple things to get him and Rudy involved. And so it's I think we just have to mix it up like that. We don't want to be that one-dimensional at the end of games. We've seen that dry up on us, and so still a work in progress, but feels like we have some options.
I was going to say, it seemed like a couple times there, Ant went ISO threes, multiple possessions. Mike comes back in. Yeah. You get 2 buckets right away on stuff that he's involved in.
Yeah.
Just how, even from beyond just putting 4 points on the scoreboard, what does that do when he comes in and just kind of?
I mean, it's just a calming effect. You know he's going to make the right decision. He can get to his spot to take his own shot. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense because he keeps the ball in his hands and makes them commit. Rarely does he turn it over. So, it's a true point guard with a ton of experience, playing at a high level, and you have every confidence in those situations. So,
Chris, the wins keep piling up here, and yet there's probably little things that are gnawing at you going, game to get. What are you doing, and how's your approach in terms of helping these guys handle a little bit of success, but also understanding?
Well, we talked a lot about that the other day. You got to get better through winning. I thought tonight we left a lot of meat on the bone. We can play a lot better, and that's not to say that we expect to win easily or anything like that. It's just when you get out rebounding, you turn it over, and you don't make the easy, obvious play. Like that's a lot of room for growth right there. So when we did it, we looked really good. We just got to focus on those moments and keep extending those. But we got to keep getting better through winning, which is a challenge in itself. So.